Oh, really? There's kids all around here.
Look, the Roxy attacked her.
And when she called the landlord said,
In today's video, we dive into a jaw-dropping moment where Karen's over-the-top attitude gets met with some incredible instant karma. As their rude behavior unfolds, the universe delivers a swift and unforgettable response that you simply can't miss. On April 23rd, 2024, our story begins in the crowded terminal of a major airport in Florida. The excitement of the trip is palpable, with passengers moving quickly through security, grabbing a cup of coffee, or reading their latest books. Among them is our protagonist, a passenger, who will soon be the center of attention for all the wrong reasons. And our disruptive passenger, whom we will call Karen for the purposes of this story, has made her presence known. What started as a minor inconvenience quickly becomes a major disturbance. The trouble began when Karen, already frustrated, had an issue with her seat assignment. Although it seemed like a minor issue, her frustration was evident. According to information provided earlier, passengers on the same flight had reported that Karen had a major disagreement with a flight attendant in which she had been verbally abusive towards the employee. At the beginning of the footage, airport management calmly approached her to address her concerns. However, Karen quickly realized that she was not interested in a peaceful resolution.
No, stop arguing.
No.
Get your bag, get off the plane, and please.
That's right.
You talk to a flight attendant on the plane, get off the plane. Okay, you go too. Get your bags and you go too. I don't care about that. Your mom talked wrong to a flight attendant off the plane.
The flight crew, comprised of seasoned professionals, knew they had to act quickly to manage the escalating situation. Despite their efforts, Karen refused to comply. She continued to argue, be loud, and make threats. Her refusal to follow instructions not only disrupted the boarding process, but also caused delays that affected the entire flight schedule.
Girl,
stop.
Girl, stop. I don't care. Her mom talked wrong to a flight attendant.
They might as well just get off.
Get your bags and get off the plane. Okay, the police are coming and they're
Karen's response to this announcement was anything but calm. She became even more agitated, shouting about her rights and making inflammatory comments, even bursting into tears and repeatedly calling for her mother's help. Her behavior became increasingly erratic, and it was clear that the situation was getting out of control.
But you did.
I heard her. Guys, we heard her. She didn't talk about
What? Girl, stay out of it. You were gonna say something, because that flight attendant was not rude with her. She was not rude. Oh my God, you might as well just get off. Right at this point. You should get off. Just get off freely at this point. You're screwed. It really is. Okay, nobody's being rude. We're just ready to go. Right.
Many passengers were caught in the middle of the confrontation, unsure of what to do or how to react. Realizing that the situation could not be resolved internally, the crew decided it was time to involve airport security. They contacted the authorities, who were on standby and ready to handle the escalating crisis.
Y'all can help her and y'all can get off too, so we can go. It's the acting tears for me. I cannot. But still, respect. But get what? Right.
Karen's initial reaction to the security team's arrival was one of defiance. She continued to protest, insisting that she had done nothing wrong and that the situation was being blown out of proportion. And despite her protest, the security team remained calm and focused on resolving the situation without further conflict. The video stops at the conversation between the airport security officer and Karen. And because of her aggressive behavior, Karen missed her flight and made herself a laughingstock for the passengers. Under Florida statutes, Chapter 877, Section 03, disorderly conduct is defined as conduct that disrupts the peace, including but not limited to making noise, cursing, or engaging in public fighting. This includes conduct that causes loud noise or disturbance in a public place that disturbs the good order or peace of the area. using profane, abusive, or threatening language in a public place. Karen's loud behavior toward the flight attendant violated this section of the law. Karen's disorderly conduct was charged as a Class B misdemeanor. If convicted, Karen faces up to 6 months in jail and a maximum fine of $1,000. Seems like this woman just landed herself in hot water, but wait until you see this next one. The incident in question occurred on the evening of June 4th, 2024, at a Walmart located in Beech Grove, a suburb of Indianapolis. The story began with what should have been a routine shopping trip, but quickly devolved into a chaotic and violent confrontation. This case has not only shocked the community, but has also garnered widespread media attention due to the disturbing nature of the events and the involvement of a young child. Amber Stevenson, a 34-year-old mother, found herself at the center of the controversy. According to reports, Stevenson was involved in a physical altercation with Rebecca Mills, 39-year-old woman, in the beauty and health section of the store. What makes this case particularly troubling is the role of Stevenson's 6-year-old son, Johnny, who was directly involved in the violence. The brawl started late in the evening and, according to surveillance footage and various eyewitness accounts, quickly escalated into a chaotic scene. The video footage that emerged from the incident reveals disturbing details about how the fight unfolded.
This is awesome.
In the footage, Stevenson is seen physically engaging with Mills while her young son is nearby. Instead of removing her child from the situation or seeking help, Stevenson allegedly encouraged Johnny to participate in the fight. This encouragement was not subtle.
Come on, bitch. You want it? You want it? Are you fucking serious? You want it? What you gonna do? Come on. Come on. What you want to do? You want it? Bitch.
On the video, Stevenson can be heard shouting instructions to her son, urging him to punch Mills in the face. Stevenson's directive, Johnny, punch her in the face. Johnny, punch her in her fucking face. Captures a chilling moment where a parent's influence directly incites violence. The video shows Johnny kicking and hitting Mills while she is on the ground. The child also grabs items from the store shelves, including shampoo, and uses them to continue the assault.
Oh, really? There's kids all around here.
Put the rock she attacked her in.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy, don't do that.
Bitch, you attacked her.
Y'all knock it off. The kid's sitting there. Get the hell off of her right now.
Johnny, punch her in her face. Johnny, punch her in her fucking face. Punch her in her face. What? Come on, bitch. Want it, bitch. Johnny!
Were compounded by the use of objects like shampoo bottles. One of the most concerning aspects of this incident is the way Stevenson's actions placed her son in a dangerous and unhealthy situation. Prosecutors allege that Stevenson knowingly endangered Johnny's life and health by involving him in the fight. The felony child neglect charge against her stems from this serious allegation.
This is white trash at its finest.
Wow. I think I got a security guard.
They're coming.
Look at them.
Somebody, got it on their phone. I don't have a phone. Did you?
I don't know. It's gonna take a woman to get on. I ain't doing it.
I think the one that got on the phone.
Stevenson was arrested and booked into the Marion County Jail the day after the brawl. She faces 2 criminal charges, felony child neglect, and a misdemeanor charge of contributing to the delinquency of a minor. The child neglect charge is particularly severe, reflecting the gravity of the allegations that Stevenson's behavior put her child in harm's way. In addition to the legal repercussions, Stevenson's actions have led to broader discussions about parental responsibility and child welfare. The legal proceedings began shortly after Stevenson's arrest. Her bond was set at $3,500 for the child neglect charge, and she faces a misdemeanor charge for contributing to the delinquency of a minor. The prosecution's case is built on the video evidence and witness statements that paint a clear picture of the chaotic and harmful situation. The impact of this incident extends beyond the immediate legal ramifications. According to Indiana Code Title 35, Article 46-14, child neglect is defined as the intentional or reckless failure to provide care, supervision, or protection necessary for the safety and well-being of a child. This includes failing to provide a child with basic needs such as food, shelter, and medical care, as well as failing to provide a safe living environment for a child. Child neglect can include the intentional or reckless failure to provide a child with basic needs that endangers or harms the child's health and well-being. When Karen saw the argument, instead of taking the child away, she encouraged her child to join in the fight and attack others. This behavior put Karen in violation of this law and has exposed her to serious charges under the Children's Rights Act. According to Indiana Code Title 35, Article 42(2)(1), assault may include inflicting or threatening physical harm upon another person. It may include the use of force or the threat of force that makes the victim feel threatened even if no physical harm is caused. In situations where it is considered an aggravated assault, battery includes inflicting physical harm upon another person, whether by hand, weapon, or any other means. Battery can occur at many different levels. Karen's actions in the fight clearly violated the framework of this section. Karen's conviction has resulted in serious penalties under the law. The final story in today's video is about a 76-year-old woman who, despite having no formal authority, took it upon herself to monitor and control handicapped parking spaces in her friend's apartment complex. And on April 29, 2024, police responded to a call reporting an incident that began with a 76-year-old woman who was temporarily staying with a friend in a California apartment complex. Despite not being a resident or having any formal authority in the community, she took it upon herself to act as a parking enforcement officer. The focus of her rage, handicapped parking spaces, which she believed were being misused. The incident was both shocking and disturbing. The elderly woman confronted her neighbors in an unexpectedly aggressive manner, setting off a chain of events that quickly spiraled out of control. The confrontation began when the elderly woman approached one of the residents of the apartment building with a request. She insisted that they move her car, which she claimed was parked improperly. The resident, who was clearly upset, described the encounter to the police when they arrived.
Hi, buddy.
And then she was like talking. I literally just tried to ignore her.
Up here, down there in the car, where? So you were in the apartment?
Yeah.
You opened the door to talk to her? She knocked?
Yeah, she knocked. I opened the door. I like jumped. I was like, I wasn't expecting. And she was like, yeah, whatever. And I just went to like shut the door. I was like, okay, I'm done arguing with you. And she like pushed the door and hit me in the stomach. I'm fucking pregnant and shit.
So she pushed the door and the door hit you in the stomach?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, and I was like, and then she pushed. Then he got up and I was like, why would you do that? Like, that's so innocent.
The elderly woman's actions were both unexpected and violent. When the resident attempted to close the door, the elderly woman forced the door open, causing the door to hit the resident in the stomach. And the incident, understandably, left the resident shocked and angry.
Like, oh my fucking face, that's so.
Okay.
I tried to fucking close to the door.
Okay, so just to clarify, she was upset you were parked in the space down there. She came up, knocked on your door, you opened the door to talk to her. She was arguing with you, you went to shut the door, she pushed the door back on you and hit you in the stomach with your door. Okay. And you saw this?
As tensions rose, the situation quickly attracted the attention of law enforcement. Officers were dispatched to the scene to investigate the escalating conflict. Upon arrival, officers began their investigation by speaking with residents and gathering details about the incident. Residents provided a description of the older woman, a large woman with straight hair in her 60s. This information was crucial for officers to ensure they were dealing with the right person.
When did this happen? How long ago?
Like, it literally happened. I called her husband.
Okay. Right, were they home when it happened? Now, when she pushed the door open, did she come into your apartment or anything like that? Just her arm? She pushed the door open with her arm, and then that, you said the door hit you? Okay. Well, yeah, that's all right. Okay, so let me go make contact. Well, I didn't know if like it was a neighbor that you said something to or anything like that.
I think the other day when she was like, oh, your kids are getting so big. And I was like, yeah, I'm adding another one.
Is there more than one person who lives in the apartment downstairs?
I don't know if it's And her daughter lives with her.
Okay, so can you describe the one that was so I make sure I'm talking to the right person?
Bigger woman.
Gray straight hair. So, which one is the one that pushed the door?
The older woman was revealed to have been living with her daughter and had recently experienced personal loss, including the recent death of her husband. Despite her emotional state, her actions toward her neighbor were both aggressive and illegal.
Yes, ma'am. So we got a call for an incident that happened with you. Tell me what's going on.
This is what the situation. My daughter Tamara knows Chief Belton really well.
Okay.
In fact, she works for the Chamber of Commerce for the last year. We have a problem with this neighbor, and that problem is these two people, or this lady, they take two parking spots because of the way this apartment.
In her account, the older woman claimed that the situation was the result of ongoing parking disputes in the apartment complex. She described her frustration with the parking arrangements and misuse of the designated spaces. She felt that her actions were justified because her neighbors were allegedly misusing the parking spaces.
And she has Tamara goes to all the events, whether it's Parker or whatever, under Kevin Shealy. And the fact is, he's continuing. These people park, he parks his commercial truck there every day. He said to me, the name is Karen. It's who? Maybe that's the girls next door. Oh, no, I know I should have it.
Okay.
No, but that's what happened. Saturday, he had the Loma thing, the Loma dinner.
Okay.
And this is the first time, I'm 76 years old. I parked my car up on that hill. I have a pulmonary embolism, and I still take my time, and I go up there, get the doctor's care for it. But yes, I finally get through because that man can park his car somewhere else.
The older woman admitted to pushing the door but denied any malicious intent. She asserted that her frustration stemmed from what she believed to be unfair parking practice, not from any desire to harm her neighbors. As the officers continued their investigation, they read the older woman her Miranda rights. This procedural step was necessary as they prepared to handle the case more formally.
Let the wife park there. Now, this guy has a motor, he's our neighbor.
Okay. Aside from all of the other neighbors with their parking, okay? So, is there assigned parking places in this?
Basically, it's one, the owner, Tamara knows the owner, and she's gonna call him, but she's going on a trip to Savannah, and I'm going to White Springs, my husband. So, anyway, the situation is that truck, and he got his motorcycle, I guess, in there, barely. The girls over here would have one spot, but instead, theirs takes that parking spot, and yes, it is getting sickening, and it's something management needs to do. And I'm sorry, yes, I got upset.
Okay. Let me read you something right quick, okay?
The older woman, still very upset, was advised of her rights and the potential legal consequences of her actions. But despite their emotional turmoil, the officers had to continue to perform their duties, ensuring that all parties involved were treated fairly and that the law was enforced. The situation was further complicated by the elderly woman's health issues and her recent personal loss, adding to the complexity of the case.
You said you got angry. Did you go upstairs and talk to them?
And I talked to them.
Okay. Explain to me how that happened. How did that conversation go?
Basically, they shut the door on me, and I talked.
You didn't push on their door, you didn't touch their door, anything like that?
Initially, I did.
Did they invite you into their apartment?
No, they did not, and I did not go in their apartment.
You went upstairs to talk to them, you were on their thing, she pushed the door shut on you and you pushed the door back?
No, she didn't push the door shut on me.
So you said she began to close the door and
She began to.
close the door and you stopped
And
the
I
door.
wanted to talk to her.
So at any time when that happened, did you say anything? Did you do anything else?
I told them he needed to park someplace else. They have to walk up there. There's three. I let Tamara come in and go as she wishes because of the chamber.
Ultimately, the confrontation led to the arrest of the elderly woman. She was charged with burglary and assault, reflecting the severity of her actions. The arrest was the culmination of a series of poor decisions and escalating tensions that began over a simple dispute over parking. The officers, though professional and methodical, had to navigate the delicate balance between enforcing the law and addressing the emotional and personal challenges the elderly woman faced. Under California Penal Code 459, burglary is defined as the act of entering any building, dwelling, or structure with the intent to commit another crime, such as theft, fraud, or vandalism. Karen illegally entered her neighbor's apartment and, during the course of an argument, pushed the door open on the resident, resulting in injury. Second-degree trespass is described if the apartment is not a dwelling or if the trespass is not related to the commission of another crime, but is still an unauthorized entry into the property. Karen's actions fit the bill perfectly. The sentence Karen faces is between 16 months and 3 years in prison and a fine under this section. According to California Penal Code Section 240, assault is an act by a person that causes a person to have a substantial fear of imminent physical harm, even if the assault is not carried out. Karen's assault caused the family to feel threatened, which put her in violation of this law. The penalty for the crime is up to 1 year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more great content. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about how this situation was handled? We'd love to hear from you.